Hello and welcome back to another exciting Wednesday edition of the Locker Room with Voice of the People TV. I am your host, Jerry Arpelioi, and we're ready to bring you the hottest football talk of the week, talking about a new day, and we get to talk more about some serious football action, talking about the UEFA Champions League, and from other very interesting mouth-watering stories as far as football is concerned. And I'm also joined by the one and the only Mayowa, who's ready to throw down some hot takes and share his insights on the biggest stories in football right now. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and, of course, ring the bell and get ready for a whole lot of football goodness in the locker room today. Of course, Mayowa, you're brimming with so much smile. You're smiling like a chachakat. I remember Sir Alex Ferguson days. There was a game that Manchester United were winning, and Sir Alex Ferguson was smiling. The commentator said that Sir Alex Ferguson was smiling like a Cheshire cat. So that word stuck to me. Talking about so many years ago, and of course, you remind me of that smile today. Great to have you join us on Locker.
It's always amazing to be here. A whole lot of football to talk about. Barcelona doing the magic, going to Portugal and getting a well-deserved victory. Yes, you might want to blame the players and the coaches for messing up and allowing Barcelona to come back. But that is what we live for in the Champions League. Finally, Liverpool, doing the business again. The only team to have 100% results in the Champions League.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Ademola Lookman, find or lost cylinder again, proving proving the fact that there was no mistake in naming him the African Footballer of the Year because of the kind of performance he put in. Atlanta also securing their place. A whole lot of top teams showing up to be counted. The only team that disappointed yesterday was a Juventus that couldn't find a way to probably find the back of the net. But in any case, a whole lot of football to talk about. But like I always say, it's a good way to talk football. Thank you for having me, Jerry.
All right, let's hit the ground running. Okay, let's start off with Maduka Okoye has been removed from Udinese's roster of registered players amid allegations of betting irregularities. The Nigerian international is under investigation for reportedly betting on his own yellow card during a Serie A match between Udinese and Lazio last March, where he received the booking for time wasting in the 64th minutes. Investigators have reportedly searched the goalkeeper's home following complaints filed by the betting agency, talking about CISA. And if found guilty, the 25-year-old could face a ban for up to 5 years. Currently, Okoye is recovering from a wrist injury and has been substituted in Udinese's 25-man squad by Egil Selvik. I don't know how he thought that he will not be found out if he uses his own account. I don't know how stupid if anybody can be, even most especially a footballer. Anyway, the man wanted to get sure odds and double his income. Anyway, but by the way, I think Maduka Okoye should know better. Would I say greed for more money? Anyway, other players are falling in that situation. Let's not forget the Tonali boy who plays right now for Newcastle United.
It's not the first time this is happening. There's a particular Lucas Paqueta that has the same situation, lining up for him. They're still investigating him. However, the rules are very, very clear. If you are playing football, you cannot be betting on games. And the moment you are attached to football, there is no reason for you to even come close. The rule is very stringent that even your family members cannot be found wanting in terms of betting because they might compromise your performance on the game. And a whole lot of these players, because they are very greedy, because they want to make money, it reminds me of I can't remember his name now. I think the guy is related to the Soje family, football family, when they were doing one investigation in the UK the other time, and he didn't know it was being recorded, and he was talking about bookmakers giving them money to throw games and the rest of that. I don't know how that case ended, but it was a very, huge case that made the headlines. I think about 10 or 12 years ago. I can't really remember. But in any case, the rules are very clear. If you know this thing is against the rule, why do it? It's not the first player that have done that. I think for me personally, if Maduka Okoye is found wanting, I think it should be banned from football for life. The reason why I'm saying this is this. I think the 8 month ban and the 2 year ban and the 1 year ban that they usually give them, I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough, to deter the players from doing it. Players continue to fall into this in the space of 2 years. We've seen top players found wanting in this particular situation, and most of them they get 8 month ban, 1 year ban, and that will be the end of it. I think there is a need for them to introduce more stringent condition. If you are found wanting in this kind of situation, you should be getting banned for life. I think if they use one or two people as a scapegoat, I think probably it will deter people from doing this. The reason why players are doing this is because of their selfishness and because they are very greedy. I hope this allegation is not true for the sake of Okoye, for the fact that he's still very young and he has a whole lot of is making way for himself, and because he's a Nigerian, I'm hoping this is not true. But if they find it out and it's to be true, then it should be banned for life. I think 5 years will not be enough.
All right, and of course, Okoye, if found guilty, the 25-year-old could face a ban for up to 5 years. Currently, Okoye is recovering from a wrist injury and has been substituted in Udinese's 25-man squad by Ejil Selvik. If the club is already making a move of removing him from the squad, it shows that it's something very, very serious. And we hope that he gets out of this one and learn his lesson in the hard way. And of course, Tonali had to leave Italy to avoid that lengthy ban to join Newcastle United against his wishes, due to the fact that his own was even more serious. He was an addicted gambler, a bettor, and at a point he could not help it. But I hope he has learned his lesson. And Maduka Okoye, if found guilty, looks like he might be facing the stick. All right, let's talk about the move of talking about Garnacho, looking like it has something to do with Victor Osimhen. Napoli and Manchester United are reportedly vying to sign Alejandro Garnacho with the hope that it will help facilitate a potential transfer of Victor Osimhen to the Premier League club in the summer. However, it has been reported that Garnacho has already agreed to join Napoli. Napoli coach Antonio Conte has also had several discussions with Garnacho about his plans for the team. While Napoli were willing to offer Manchester United a discount on Osimhen's transfer fee, the striker has reportedly rejected the offer. It has been revealed that Manchester United made the most serious bid for Osimhen in the current transfer window, and Napoli is prepared to sell him to Manchester United for 75 million euros in the summer. So there you have it, Maiwa. It looks like Napoli is already making friends with Manchester United, and it looks like Man United is proving that they are ready for that relationship by letting Garnacho go to Napoli. But they've said they don't want £50 million, is too small for Garnacho. But for me, I don't see the reason why they should be letting a talented player like Garnacho go.
Garnacho is not that talented. Garnacho is not that talented. However, Garnacho is a player that has the tag, is a performer on his day. He has been like that for the past 3-4 years. For the past 3 years rather. I don't think that's the kind of player we need. On Garnacho's day, he can do the spectacular. I mean, he just won the Puskas Award with the goal he scored against Everton last season. That fantastic bicycle kick, which shows the kind of quality he has. However, the quality does not come to bear. We've said it over and over again. The standard in Manchester United has dropped. Even with the fact that he's a quality player, he does not live up to the bidding. And if this were to be under Alex Ferguson, he would have been sold. Remember, a particular Pogba came up from the academy, but Alex Ferguson knew he was not going to fit him because of how he's playing or how he is. He had to sell him. He had to sell him off. I think the same issue is what we are having with a Garnacho at the moment. It's another Marshall that has a whole lot of potential, but never lived to show us that potential. So if there's a suitor for him right now, I think it will make business sense for Manchester United to sell him off. I mean, we practically got him for nothing. He came off from the academy, we practically got him for nothing. I think if we are selling him for £50 million and just of that, we'll be making a whole lot of money. And it's a good one that Osimhen is rejecting the deal at the moment. I think we've said it over and over again. There is no point making a move right now. Wait till the end of the season. A lot of signings in January. They are signing you to come and fix a problem. There is no 100% guarantee that you'll be able to fix the problem. You have to first of all battle with the fact that you want to settle in, you want to understand how the team play. Then the pressure of you delivering is also there. And sometimes, most of the time, January transfer with a whole lot of weight on them, they end up flopping. So it's a good one that Osimhen is taking his time. He's playing good football in Galatasaray right now. He's enjoying himself, and his form is coming back. He's doing well also in Europe. He's doing well in their league. He should stay to the end of the season before he decides make a calm and cool decision without making any move in haste. So it's a good one that he's rejecting the deal. He should wait to the end of the season. For Garnacho, I think we will never get a better deal for Garnacho than now. As it is, it's not living to all bidding. By the end of the season, the valuation might even drop. So if Napoli is willing to sell, if Napoli is willing to pay 50 million for a Garnacho, I think it's a good deal for Manchester United. Garnacho is not a player. He's not a player that should be wearing Manchester United jersey at the moment, based on the performance he has put in so far.
All right, and of course, even Sir Paul Scholes was even asked questions about the players he would like to let go. And on that list, I was shocked that Garnacho was on his list of players that should be sold. And he made the mention of very interesting players. Apart from maybe Kobe Mino, he even said Rashford should be sold. And he said they should even keep Onana. That was also a shocking one. And that Onana should still be given more time as far as that one is concerned. It looks like somehow, even if they let Garnacho go, if Osimhen is not interested in making a move to Manchester United eventually at the summer, and I think it will not make any interesting sense to let a quality player like Garnacho go and you're not getting anything in return as far as replacement is concerned. All right, let's go back to more news where Leon Balogun has hit out at Rangers fans over their disrespect of his teammates and Super Eagles teammates as well, talking about Sir Dessers. Dessers has endured a rocky relationship with Ibro's faithfuls since his arrival at the club side, and the 30-year-old was booed by some fans when he was introduced during Rangers' recent Scottish games against St Johnstone and Aberdeen. I think for me, Sir Dessers has paid his dues at Rangers. We're taking a look at his scoring record. I don't know where this is coming from, with the fans now picking on him, because Sir Dessers has been a decent player for Rangers. Myron.
The thing is, and the reason why the fans are picking on me is very simple. In the last couple of months, he's been struggling with playing time. Yes, he was one of their key players a couple of years ago, and very important. He was also very important for them in Europe. However, in the last 7 8 months, game time has been very hard to come by for him, and that's the reason. Also, remember, yes, it's bad that they are picking on him, but I think the fans of Rangers turning on the team is not a Sweet Desert thing alone. It has to do with the whole team. At one point in this season, Rangers were supposed to be leading the league with about 3 or 4 points, and suddenly they are behind Celtic with about 12 or if not 12 or 15 points thereabout. They ended up, in the space of 3 months, they didn't win a single game. They were drawing and losing games, and that's the reason why even the owners of Rangers, they are getting the stick at the moment, and they are urging them to sell the club. I think it's more of the frustration of the fans, and they are taking it out on Siri Desel, which has been very poor, which has not been fantastic for him. A whole lot of club, a couple of weeks ago, I think about 2 3 weeks when the transfer window opened, a whole lot of clubs in Europe have been trying to get his signature. I think this is high time for him to move. He has paid his dues in Rangers, and for the fact that he's getting lesser playing time nowadays, he comes in and gets 15 20 minutes. He hardly gets 45 minutes in any game. That's a sign that the coach is beginning to move away from Siri Desel. So I think it's high time for him to move. some clubs in Italy are looking at him. Also, Leganes is reported to be interested in him. I think a move to Leganes would probably be a breath of fresh air for him since Rangers is no more conducive for him. If I were to be, Siri Desel, I'll probably make a move away from Rangers and also, you know, make a move away from Rangers, try and get a club that will give me enough playing time so that I can probably get an opportunity to play for the Super Eagles because I still feel he has the quality to be able to play for the Super Eagles if he's able to get a club that he features for consistently. So if I see Denzel and if I were to be his advisor, I'll probably advise him to change club, leave Rangers alone, probably go to Leganes that are looking at getting his signature. He's going to get a lot of playing time there, and probably that'll probably boost his confidence to probably rejuvenate his career.
All right, and of course, if you take a look at his stats in the league, in as much as he has not been getting playing time of late, 7 goals in 20 games in the Scottish League is not really a bad one, and for a player who has been warming the bench for some time right now. Okay, let's see how that pans out. Let's talk about some transfer news where a Nigerian, talking about Michael Kayode, a Fiorentina defender, is expected to undergo a medical with Brentford today. Kayode is set to join the Premier League club and on loan with an option to buy. The Italy under-21 international will replace Matt Roslev at the London club. Okay, he's already playing for Italy on the 21, but who says if Michael Kayode is doing well in the English Premier League with Brentford, maybe it's another defender Nigeria can poach in the future for the Super Eagles. Mario.
Destiny Udogie. I mean, you could not put Destiny Udogie. I doubt if you are going to be able to poach these people. Remember, Angelo Ogbonna played for the Italian national team, even though he was not that successful. But I think a lot of these players that end up turning up for Italy, they hardly ever switch. I don't know the reason for that. Probably maybe if I do my research, I'll probably find out the reason. But they hardly ever switch. I've never seen, any Nigerian that opted to play for the Italians at the age grade competition end up playing for the national team. But in any case, it's a good one that is making the move. He came up from the Florentina Academy. He has been fantastic. He was also part of the Italian under 19 under 20 Europa team, the UEFA youth team, and he was part of the competition and did very, very well. So it's a good one that is making a move to England. However, I hope we'll be able to if he's able to do well, perform excellently well. I'll probably say we can try and poach him then, but I doubt if he will come. But in any case, we are in need of defenders. We've been talking about our defense line aging. A whole lot of our defenders are aging. Shemi Ajayi is already 29. He will be turning 30 later this year. Trustekong is already 32. So we have an aging defense. So if a Michael Kayode can do very well, and will probably be a good fit for Nigeria if he's able to transition very well into Brentford and be one of their mainstay. Then we can probably just poach him to probably solve our defense our defense issue at the moment because our defense are they're already aging out. However, it's a good one for him. Let's see how he performs in Brentford. Brentford is a very fantastic team, and I know for them to be eyeing him, I think they probably see he has enough quality to be able to play for them. He has enough quality. He has shown it in the Italy on the 2021 team, but in Florentina, game time has been a bit difficult for him, and that's the reason why he has been pushing for a move outside Florentina to be able to get.
And there are reports that he might be available. And there are reports that he might be available for Brentford against Crystal Palace at the Selhurst Park on Sunday. All right, let's talk about Ademola Lookman. He scored his fourth Champions League goal in the game against Stormgrass as Atlanta dominated with a 5-0 victory. The Super Eagles forward connected with a precise cross from the right to head in the fourth goal for Atlanta and later assisted the fifth. With this win, they have accumulated 14 points from 7 matches. Ademola Lookman is proving that They say form is temporary, but class is permanent.
Definitely, I mean, he has shown once again, the reason why he's the African Footballer of the Year. Apart from the fact that a whole lot of people started recognizing him because of the hat-trick he scored in the final. We've constantly said on this show, with the way he performed last season, that is a player to watch and is living up to the bidding. I won't be surprised with this kind of form if he continues with this kind of form. And if Napoli, if Atlanta is able to nail, one of the top titles, probably if they're able to, yes, they have a setback in the Italian Serie A right now, but with the performance that they have right now, if it's able to nail, probably maybe if they're able to win the Champions League, we might have Ademola Lookman in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or because of the form he is in right now. It shows, he continues to improve and is not resting on his laurels. I mean, a whole lot of players, when they get this hype, it gets into their head and they start misbehaving. He has been consistent, keeps his head down the field of play, and we saw the performance the weekend also. Even as much as they lost in that particular game, he was also instrumental in that particular game and also scored in that particular game, scoring back to back and also having goal involvement shows the kind of class he is. To be honest with you, I won't be surprised of this season. We have a Madrid and probably even a Liverpool queuing up to sign.
I think he will be a perfect replacement for Garnacho and Marcus Rashford, and because I think Man United needs him more than even Liverpool, because I think Luis Diaz is doing well, but I would prefer Ademola Lookman to Luis Diaz anytime, any day, because Luis Diaz has been failing to perform for the club side. All right, let's talk about Mohamed Salah. He has confirmed that he will likely be extending his contract with Liverpool, ending the speculation about his future. It's now left to be seen if eventually Liverpool will make the move, because if you take a look at Mohamed Salah right now, he is the kid on the block. And if you take a look at the goals in the Champions League, he's now in the top 10 top scorers in the UEFA Champions League with 51 goals. That's a remarkable performance for Mohamed Salah. I don't know what else he needs to do to prove that he's a top player, that Liverpool has to do everything to secure him a new contract ahead of next season. Of course, he also acknowledged that though the talking about the opponents they played against, Lille was a very awesome opponent, because let's not forget that Lille has not lost in as much as 21 games prior to their game against Liverpool and Anfield last night. And Mohamed Salah is on fire, was the man of the match for Liverpool, and he still beats my imagination. While Liverpool, maybe, I don't know, maybe is a way to create distraction for other teams, but Salah should not be begging to get a new contract at Liverpool. Myra.
Well, the thing is this: a lot of people are saying Liverpool won because of the red card, but I don't think that's right. They put in the performance, and that's the reason why they won. Salah has been very fantastic. For me, if I were to be Salah, I will not sign again. I'll probably leave at the end of the season. Liverpool continues to disrespect their most informed player. If Liverpool ends up winning the league this season, it is because of Salah. Anytime Salah is not playing well or Salah does not play, Liverpool struggle. It was evident, on Saturday against what was the name of the club now that they
Brentford.
played, that they ended up against Brentford, rather, yes, against Brentford, that they ended up scoring in the 91st and 93rd minute. It was because Salah was not firing on lost cylinder, and that's the reason why that did not happen. Any game that Salah does not play, or he doesn't play well, or they mark him out, Liverpool usually struggle, and that shows how important he is. At 32, he's still banging in the goals and scoring the goals, creating assists, dropping deep to to kickstart play, dropping deep to create assists, to create space for others to be able to move. His assist and his goal contribution, they are record breaking this season, and yet Liverpool will not deem it fit to to give him what he wanted. I mean, at this rate, I don't see the reason why they can't break club policy. I understand the reason why the policy is there. The policy is there because they believe that when you are above 30, there is no guarantee that you put in consistent performance if they give you a longer term contract. I understand that. However, this particular guy has been very instrumental, in where Liverpool is at the moment. So I do not understand the reason why you'll be disrespecting Mo Salah as far as I'm concerned. And the reason is this again: if this were to be Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, Liverpool will not be doing this. It is because it is Salah. That's why they are doing this. If I were to be Salah, I don't think I'll take them off on the offer. They are taking me for granted, and that's the reason why they are doing this. It doesn't make any logical sense. The people in the contract and the people in charge of contracts in Liverpool, if Salah does not renew his contract, those people need to be fired for mishandling this situation.
Yeah, and of course, Salah has been awesome, well-deserving performance, and in the all-time scorers, I think maybe the lure to still win a lot of things, and talking about break more records could be the reason why Salah might want to extend his stay at Liverpool. Because if you take a look at it, the man is already looking at chasing records and breaking a lot of records, and he feels that Liverpool is that team that will give him that opportunity to still destroy more records. And that is the reason why he's so much interested in staying at Liverpool. Because if you want to learn from what has happened to other bigger players who left Liverpool in search of greener pastures, take a look at Sadio Mane, not too successful he became at Bayern Munich. And talking about Philippe Coutinho, we all know the story of how he struggled and left Barcelona. So that could be maybe a reason. And take a look at the club sites that are even interested in signing, because his pay package is very, very large, and it looks like it's only the Saudi League. But if he goes to the Saudi League, that means he's going to lift the spotlight of playing in the Champions League and opportunities to break more records. That could be the reason why he's still considering staying at Liverpool, and the club is taking advantage of that. Maiwa.
Well, the thing is, I don't think so. Obviously, Saudi will want to come for him because this is the best time for them to sign him. If Salah waits to the end of the season, he will be out of contract by the end of June. He will be out of contract with Liverpool, and by that particular point in time, the reason why a whole lot of bigger clubs in Europe are not coming for him, they are monitoring the situation. So it's very simple. So if he's still contracted to Liverpool at the moment, if any club wants to come for him, they might be asking them to pay 50, 40 million, you pounds for him outside the wages they will be paying him. And obviously, Salah does not come cheap. If he's leaving Liverpool, he'll be looking at a wage of maybe 400, 500,000 pounds per week and the rest of that. So if you add that to the 40 or 50 million pounds the top clubs in Europe will play, it will put a hole in their pocket. However, if they wait to the end of season, with the way Liverpool are going about this issue, I think Salah might be out of contract, before they are able to finalize anything. So when he's out of contract, he becomes a free agent. So they sign him for little or nothing, right? They just give him a sign-on fee. Then they might now the 50 million they are supposed to spend in signing that they're supposed to pay Liverpool. They probably use that to pay his salary. And if you are paying him 500,000 per week, that's about 2 million every month. That's about 24 million. The sign-on fee, the buying of player, that the amount they will pay to Liverpool will be about 50 million. They will use that same money to pay Salah for the next 2 years, and that will give them a whole lot of return on investment in terms of the merchandising and the rest of that. So they would have saved themselves a whole lot of money. That's the reason why a lot of top clubs in Europe are not coming for him at the moment, because he still has a contract with Liverpool. By the end of the season, if Liverpool has not sorted this out, a whole lot of top clubs will come. I will not be surprised if we see the likes of PSG and the rest of them queuing up to get his signature, because it will be a steal for them with this kind of form he is right now. I mean, he's in the Ballon d'Or conversation for heaven's sakes. So why would Liverpool be dilly-dallying with his contract situation when at the end of the season a whole lot of bigger clubs will come for him? Because it will be a steal for them. I hope Liverpool is able to sort this out and not regret letting one of the best players the EPL has seen in the last 5 years go without them having a say in it.
All right, it is what it is. Let's see how that pans out. And of course, you just saw the scorers chart as far as the Champions League is concerned. Mohamed Salah looks like he still means business, and maybe before the end of the season, he might equal Thomas Muller's record, and maybe if he if he does the inevitable to equal Andrei Shevchenko's goals record, which is stands at 59, 8 goals shy of what he already has. But Thomas Muller looks more realistic with 3 more goals to go to equal Thomas Muller's record. Already, he's already equaling Thierry Henry's record of 51 goals in the Champions League. You must say, very remarkable from Mohamed Salah. Okay, and away from that, where Borussia Dortmund has finally fired their coach Nuri Sahin following a 2-1 defeat to Bologna in the Champions League, marking their 4th consecutive loss across all competitions. The club announced the decision after an internal review, citing a lack of confidence in achieving their sporting goals due to a poor performance, including losing all 3 league matches in 2025, which has dropped them to 10th in the Bundesliga. And this is not quite a good record for Nuri Sahin, who a lot of Borussia Dortmund fans were rooting for. But we hear that Erik ten Hag might be replacing him.
From fire pan to fire. But in any case, Erik ten Hag is not a bad coach. I mean, he just had a bad spell with Manchester United. And he had to be wearing Manchester. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Nuri Sahin, a legend of Borussia Dortmund. I remember his early days with Borussia Dortmund. He was one of the influential player in that particular club. A whole lot of people were rooting for him because of the ties he had to the club. But unfortunately, he has been struggling. And I don't think I don't think it's a Nuri Sahin thing. I think Dortmund itself, I think there is a need for them, to rejuvenate. There's a need for them to probably do away with a whole lot of players and probably bring in a new set of players. I think the culture in Dortmund has broken consistently. They overpromise and underdeliver. That has been the issue. That has been the issue with Dortmund in the last 4 years. Remember about 2 or 3 times like that in the last 7 years. They were very close to winning the title. You are even sure that they will win the title and they ended up messing it up. That's not the first time. Sometimes in the league, you expect them to be competing with the best, and sometimes you see them struggling in the league. I think the culture is broken. I think the same problem Manchester United is having, that same problem Dortmund is having. This will be the second coach. This will be their second coach in the last 2 years, and I don't think that's the way to go. There's a need to be able to bring in somebody that will have a long-term goal, that will be able to turn the team around. I mean, Luis Sahin has been struggling, and when he was first appointed, in as much as a lot of people were, rating him and talking about him, I was talking to some other colleagues, and I told them that Luis Sahin will fail, and the reason was because the culture in Dortmund was broken, and I don't think Luis Sahin has the fix for it at the moment, and that's the reason why he's struggling. Well, I'm hoping to see what Ten Hag will do. I hope he must have taken a lesson from what happened to him in Manchester United, not sticking to his gun, and that's the reason why he failed in Manchester United. I hope when he gets to Dortmund, he's able to settle down quickly and able to get the ground running. Let's see how it goes. But it's a good one that Nisahin was let go, because I don't think he has the quality to be able to take them forward in whatever Dortmund wanted to achieve in the league and the Champions League.
All right, let's talk about the Champions League proper, where Liverpool maintained their perfect Champions League record with a 2-1 win over Lille, securing the spot the last 16. Mohamed Salah's goal and a deflected shot from Harvey Elliott ensured the victory despite Lille equalizing. And of course, it's been 7/7 for Arne Slot's team. And we're not talking about draws here. We're talking about straight wins. And it's been a perfect record for Arne Slot's boys out there in the Champions League.
7/7. It's made me remember one particular very popular song in the late 80s, by Shina Peter. 777 is the number. Oluwashina. But in any case, I mean, seven is a perfect number according to those who are very spiritual or thereabout. But you know, Salah has been very, very impressive in the Champions League. Lille had a very impressive record, going 21 games unbeaten in all competitions, and that run of form was broken by Liverpool. Anfield has become, a fortress where on European night you can go there and you get beat. A typical example: Barcelona was there some years ago. They were leading 4-0 and they got beaten. In Anfield, it shows how over the years Liverpool has turned the Anfield into a fortress. And Slot, for me, I mean, should be winning the coach of the year. To be honest with you, come from a Dutch league that's not even one of the top five leagues, taking up the reign, of a top club in England, of a Liverpool side, and turning the performance around, coming from a disastrous season under Jurgen Klopp, to a fantastic season under Arne Slot with almost the same set of players, shows the kind of quality Arne Slot has. And kudos to Arne Slot, kudos to the players also. And giving Arne Slot kudos is that he's been able to create a room and an environment for the players to be able to flourish. The same Mohamed Salah that people are talking about leaving the club last season, is performing on us, is doing wonders, is firing on us cylinders. The same Konate, Van Dijk that were letting in goals with reckless abandon last season under a Jurgen club, they've sat up and be able to tighten the ship, at the defense, leaking next to nothing goals, shows the kind of quality and his slot has, and he's been able to impute that, inculcate that to the team, and we are seeing the result. And fantastic result for Liverpool, and I will not be surprised if Liverpool gets to the final of this UCL Champions League. Yes, a lot of people might say it's CLE, but with the rate at which they are performing, with their current, form, if there's no dip in form, I think they'll probably make it to the finals.
All right, and of course, he made a very interesting comment. Was it anyway during the presser talking about the post-match conference? He said that they've beaten every team in the Champions League this season, and he said that we can't celebrate yet because Arsenal fans says we are not that good. Okay, I don't know whether Arsenal fans is enthusiastic to to do a team that is good, but anyway, let's take a presser from Arne Slot, talking about the performance of Liverpool after this game. And of course, we're still here to talk about so many games that went down in the Champions League. Yeah, Arne Slot. Yeah, we'll take it.
Minutes means that you haven't sealed top spot in the standings, but you are through to the last 16. So how much satisfaction do you take from that, from the performance, the work rate as well, that got you 7 wins from 7 in the Champions League?
Let's start with a compliment for the referee in Lisbon, because for the times I've worked in football, I saw 4 minutes of extra time, and then there was 3 minutes of time delaying, and then at 4 minutes the referee blew his whistle. But this referee kept on playing for a while, so maybe that was not in our advantage this time. But I like to see these things. For the rest, it doesn't tell me anything, because if in tennis you are number 1 seeded, you know it's always better to face the number 24 than to face the number 8 or the number 12, because this is a ranking that is done for years. But now we are in a new format where some teams are high in the league table because they had a lucky draw, or some teams are low because they had a very difficult draw. So it's far off to say that it's an advantage to be 1 or 2. We still don't know yet if that's an advantage or not. You might be lucky, you might be very unlucky, and ending up 8 can mean that you are maybe lucky. So for me, it doesn't tell me anything. What for me is the most important thing for tonight is that we've managed to skip around, and that is definitely worth a bit.
The performance and the work rate that you saw tonight?
Yeah, like I would say, like I'm used to from these players. What maybe today was asked a bit more from them, that they had to be patient, because the reason why Lille has done so well, 21 games unbeaten, and the teams they've beaten in the Champions League, is, without any disrespect at all, but they don't have the best players in the world. They're very good players, but they don't have the best players in the world. And then to be able to do so well tells you how disciplined they are, how hard they want to work, how well the manager does there over there. So in the league table, because they had a lucky draw, or some teams are low because they had a very difficult draw. So it's far off to say that it's an advantage to be 1 or 2. We still don't know yet if that's an advantage or not. You might be lucky, you might be very unlucky, and ending up 8 can mean that you are maybe lucky. So for me, it doesn't tell me anything. What for me is the most important thing for tonight is that we've managed to skip around, and that is definitely worth a bit.
Performance and the work rate that you saw tonight?
Yeah, like I would say, like I'm used to from these players. What maybe today was asked a bit more from them, that they had to be patient, because the reason why Lille has done so well, 21 games unbeaten, and the teams they've beaten in the Champions League, is, without any disrespect at all, but they don't have the best players in the world. They're very good players, but they don't have the best players in the world. And then to be able to do so well tells you how disciplined they are, how hard they want to work, how well the manager does there over there. So and we were not starting to force, because they are really compact and defended. We didn't force a pass.
All right, that's Arne Slot, and still saying that they managed to beat Lille to make it a 7-7 win in the Champions League game. But anyway, I like the fact that the man is humble and is not bragging about the performance of his side. Well, of course, there was a big one that happened last night. Barcelona staged a thrilling comeback to defeat Benfica 5-4, overcoming a 4-2 deficit late in the match, with Robert Lewandowski playing a key role. And definitely that was a big one, seeing Barcelona coming back from the dead in that one. Myra.
Definitely, I think Barcelona deserves all the accolades they are getting right now. Even as Flick never thought they would be able to come back at 3-1. A lot of people thought that was the end, and I mean, the goalkeeper of Sporting the goalkeeper of Benfica rather, decided to lose a brain cell and decided to gift Rafinha a goal. And that was what necessitated the comeback. After that, they had another chance to score. They scored. And before you know it, Barcelona were firing on all cylinder. To be honest with you, I think Barcelona won that game, particularly because of the carelessness of Benfica. Benfica will have themselves to blame. You are playing in front of your own fans. You are leading 4-2 as at 82, 83 minutes, and you end up losing that particular game 5-4. It shows that they were like a guy, they lost concentration, and that came back to haunt them. At 4-4, they were still attacking, because I mean they were on the other side trying to score the 5th goal. Barcelona had the lucky break, and before you knew it, they had a fantastic counter, and that was how they were able to win that particular game. It shows how good Barcelona is. However, Barcelona has been struggling in the league. In their last game against Getafe, they struggled, and they ended up drawing 1-1. They might end up losing the La Liga, and even in the Champions League, they've really been struggling in terms of their position. However, that win is a booster for them, and that probably might save them, and probably get them into a place whereby they will be able to qualify for the second round, and probably maybe try and avoid the playoff. But in any case, it's a good result for them. Kudos to Lewandowski playing the hero. However, a whole lot of fault comes from the Benfica side. If I were to be the coach, I'm not supporting violence, but all the players that played that match yesterday, they deserve concrete flogging, to be honest with you.
All right, and of course, those are the results of games played last night. We also saw, talking about the former Manchester City player saving his club side Atletico Madrid in that one to win that game by 2-1 against Bayer Leverkusen, who scored first in that game. And Aston Villa disappointing their fans and losing to Monaco away. We already told you about Atlanta beating Sturm Graz by 5-0. Bologna shocking Borussia Dortmund, though at home they won by 2-1, and it was Club Brugge, Juventus playing out a goalless draw. And PSV Eindhoven going away to win by 3 goals to 2. And of course, Liverpool 2, Lille 1, and Bratislava were destroyed at home by 3 goals to 1, courtesy of Stuttgart. All right, taking a look at the fixtures tonight, there is a lot to look forward to, but the biggest one has to be PSG versus Manchester City. All right, Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City are both struggling in the league phase, with Paris Saint-Germain having only 2 wins from 6 matches, and City being winless in their last 3. The match is crucial for both teams, despite not being a knockout match. So City has to win, PSG has to win. Mayo.
And well, because my wife is literally eyeballing me right now, I will not want to say anything against Man City. However, a whole lot of them, she's been bragging that Diaz is back and their defense will be much more better, and just for that, the jury is still out on, on the Man City side. Yes, they were able to win 6-0 against against the relegation side over the weekend. But one thing that was instrumental in that particular victory was the return of Ruben Diaz. It made the defense a bit stable. And I think going to the Champions League with a 6-0 win, will probably be a confidence booster for them. Remember, PSG has been really struggling, and the job of Enrique, he's holding on to his job by a thread because of the poor performance of PSG. PSG too, they've been really struggling in the Champions League. Their strikers, they've not been delivering. Yes, they've been getting victories here and there, at home in League One. However, it's going to be a battle between 2 very poor teams in the Champions League. For me personally, I think because of Ruben Diaz coming back, there's a bit of stability, and that helps Manchester City to be able to build. I think that gives them an edge over a PSG that all the strikers combined, Kolo Muani, Dembele, and what's the other guy's name now? Goncalo Ramos. Kolo Muani is on his way to what's it called now? Juventus or thereabout. I mean, Ramos has not been finding loss in that. With all those front guys not doing very well, I think Man City has the initiative in this particular game. It's going to be a very difficult game because of their inconsistency. But I think with coming out from a 6-0 victory, that'll be a confidence booster. That'll probably help Manchester City to win that particular game. I'm tipping it. It's going to be a close one. Man City takes it maybe 3-1.
All right, there will also be Arsenal up against GNK Dynamo. That's also Arsenal has performed well this season, gathering 13 points from 18 and conceding only 2 goals. Meanwhile, Dynamo's qualification hopes remain alive after a goalless draw with Celtic, but they face a tough challenge against Arsenal and the subsequent match against Milan. There's also Real Madrid, who will surely be looking forward, though they are struggling to finish in the top 8, but they have 2 games left to end points. The Salzburg campaign has been challenging with only 1 win and 5 losses, putting them at risk of elimination. There's also Shakhtar versus Bre, the controversial named side, and so much to look forward to as far as that one is concerned. That's much we can take on the show. Maiwa, I know you'll be looking forward to PSG, Man City, and so many other games to look forward to in the Champions League tonight. Of the locker room. I am Jerry Apelai. We're saying thanks for tuning in and staying with us. And a big shout out to Maiwa for dropping some serious knowledge and hot takes today, as well as the guys behind the scene talking about Victor not leaving out the likes of Ikechukwu, Jeremiah, and of course, Alice and James. All right, if you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit that like button, comment below with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll be back same time tomorrow with more football action, insights, and everything you need to know. Until then, keep the passion alive, and if not waiting at all, do it the sports way.